What's good, superstars? Back with another Veve video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good. You?
Oh. I don't hit babies. Like you. But guys, if you are new here, become a superstar. Hit that subscribe button, and the bell notification will let you know whenever we post. We post at different times, but we post every single day. And it's always about Veve, NFTs, anything that is hot topics right now. We will be talking about any of the drops, any of the market crashes, for example. We will be hitting them up hard. If you want, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok. Twitter, we are talking a lot of smack all the time. We got the TikTok and the Instagram. You send us your videos, your pictures. We'll post them, give you credit. And if you want to follow us on Veve, we got Fastos, 9.9 million, number 6909, Superstar Money. And the sun is just blaring. You can see like the window on my shirt. Hopefully I didn't just give you guys some OCD there. But Rob, today we had a comic drop.
Yeah, so I don't have it pulled up right now, but I did not go for it as per usual. I've been saying this now, I think, for a number of weeks, that I'm just completely staying out of all drops because I know that with my luck, I always get common, and the common tends to go underlisted. Of course, the good ones, Star Wars, whatever, I'll go for them. But yeah, I stay out of it. How about you?
So I went for it. I got 3 on the drop, all commons. 2 of them were 4 digits. I hung on to those. I sold the other one off for whatever, a little bit of a loss, 5 gems or something like that. And I ended up picking up a rare in the secondary for 13.
Yeah, that's a bull
13. Right. I was trying to wait for a low mint, but I didn't get it. So it is what it is. Top 5% I was looking for, because that gives you that extra 0.5% or 50% MCP points.
Right.
But yeah, I ended up with the common and the rare. And the rare almost looks like a secret rare. We were talking about it.
It's almost identical. It's just the mint numbers, of course.
Yeah. The other thing that's coming up, and it's becoming a big thing, is the AMA. I'm pretty sure this is Alex and Reese AMA. It's going to be in the Twitter Spaces. If it's anything like the last one, we're going to try our best to get up on stage and ask some questions. So if you guys, I wanted to bring this up because if you guys have any questions you want us to ask for you, leave them down below. We have a couple ideas, but they can be pushed down the list. You know what I mean? We're going to pull the best questions that we think will get the most for the community.
That's a great idea. Let's have the Superstar fam let us know what things they want to know. I mean, there's a lot of things you could ask, but if there any kind of ideas that you guys got that you want answered, or any questions you guys want answered, let us know below, and we will go through them and put out what we think we can, because I'm pretty sure we can't go up there and ask 10 questions. So we're gonna have to filter through and pick maybe the best 2 max.
Yep. The other thing that was pretty cool was that they announced that today was the last drop of season 3. So now we are officially on to season 4.
Okay.
And not only was that the last drop of season 3, it was also the 100th digital comic on Veve, not including the fake drop of Top Dog.
Yeah.
And they say, do you have them all? I want to know, do you guys have them all? I replied to this and said, if you guys give me an ASM 252, I might be right there, right?
So then you have them all, right? There are people out there. I know there's people out there that are buying every comic, no matter what. They want to own every single comic that comes out.
That's crazy.
Have a huge comic collection, right?
It's tough to keep up with. I know that Veve Vault for a bit, I think until ASM 252 had a couple of each. I don't know if you ended up keeping up with it. I got to ask.
Well, they're getting cheap. I don't think it's happened yet. I've been preaching for a while now that I do believe that comics will go under $1. Do you know the cost of the common today? I'm just curious to know.
Today was a little bit of a higher tier comic. I think it was a B tier comic.
Yeah.
I seen it hanging out in the 4s all day.
4s?
I'm not sure where it's at right now.
I'm gonna quickly check it. I'm just curious because I've been saying it. Like, I'm gonna use the Silver Surfer Black number 1. It's at 350, so we're not quite there yet.
437 on today's.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you do want to own all the comics right now, there's a lot. Like, of those 100, there has to be at least like 40 or 50 of them, maybe even more, that are in like the $3 to like $6 range. At least half of them. I think it might even be more.
And some B tiers. Some B tiers. Today, $13 for a rare. That's 2 MCB points. $6 a MCB.
Well, it could go lower though. Like, don't kid yourself. Just because it's a good price right now, it could go lower. We've been saying this now for a number of months, that we do believe that prices will trend down due to the market caps. But like if you do want to own all the comics, it's getting pretty cheap that you don't have to put that much money in. Set aside the elite ones, right? You could get pretty much all of like the B's down for like $3 to $8 common price, right?
There's some good deals now. And like we've mentioned before, we don't know when the catalyst will happen that reverses the market. We don't think it's anytime soon. We do think there's a lot of things that have to be in place. And to me, I still think once they do get everything that they've been planning in place, the marketing is going to really, really help this take off. It seems like if you guys didn't catch Randy Chavez and David Yu yesterday on that huge stream that Randy did, I think it's near the end somewhere. But he did mention that they do have a marketing plan in place that they're not using yet. Randy kind of asked them, "Are you guys holding off on telling the bigger brands to?"
He said,
to market, and he pretty much confirmed it with a roundabout way. But
he full out did.
It seems like they're waiting to market, so that's got to be one of the biggest catalysts that come. I used to think it was MCP or MTL, and I think MTL will be a big part of it because people, and even the web platform, because people can bring in more money at once, especially people who weren't bringing money in because they knew they couldn't cash out. Now, maybe if they have some sort of cash out in place, then they're going to bring in money. Then the web platform, you can bring in a higher amount of money per transaction. It's just all these things will add up and add up and add up. And then when you fuel it with marketing, it's got to be the thing. And he mentioned that it's coming soon, the marketing hashtag soon, right?
Well, I mean, we've heard the coming soon for a lot of things. Now, I really think that marketing is not coming soon. I think when he means that it's coming soon, I think he means it in a much more limited form than we would want to really bring new traffic into this app. They're just so not ready. Like their vision, and by the way, I think Randy did a good job on the interview asking him questions. And I think it was a valuable thing to watch for sure. If you guys want to check it out, you can hear from David Yu himself. He actually talked about content creators as well and how that he does believe that content creators, we're not, of course, YouTube ad money, but for the most part, we're not paid. So it helps build the community, which is small right now. And hopefully this will help grow it for people who want to learn about Veve. They can go on YouTube and they can find people to talk about it. But he also talked about the marketing and how they're just not interested in doing it because the app just isn't where it needed to be based on that initial roadmap. There's still more time that they're going to need to bring in some of these important things so that eventually when they have the masses come in, they can attract them a little bit easier and have more options available for them because they've kind of already won. They're big enough and they're ahead of schedule. So they can take their time, which is going to be the point of this video.
And that's kind of the benefit of us all being in here this early. You're going to kind of see it play out. You're going to know when MCP comes. You're going to know when MTL comes. And once everything's working as a machine, that might be the time that marketing comes through. Now, will it be they might introduce these things and it might not be working so smoothly. There might be a little bit of kinks that got to get ironed out prior to bringing in the masses. And we did a video on that. About how we feel like masses will outpace the whales. Go check that video. I think it's 2 days ago. But that's what we're saying. Like they want things to be in place and they want it to be ready once they do that. And I think you're gonna all see it play out, and you guys will know. You guys will know. Maybe you'll miss the bottom, but you guys will. You're early enough that you should be able to recognize. I think, and that's the other thing. That's like Rob just touched on that we have. That the community is being built through like YouTube and Twitter and whatever. And that's what we like to do here is take your comments. A lot of the times we'll take your comments and we'll use them to make a video because that's the community sentiment. You guys are telling us what you guys think. And it's some things that are doubled on, tripled on. A lot of you guys thumbs up other people's comments too. And then we know, okay, a lot of people like that. So let's talk about that. And then maybe people at Veve are watching because they've admitted that they do watch some content creators. So if they do watch, maybe they'll hear it and then they'll incorporate it, right? So definitely something that we take into consideration when making videos, and I'm sure that they take into consideration all these videos that have been made when making decisions at Veve.
So I think that brings us to the topic of this video, right?
Yep.
Which is that Veve actually wants your collectibles to go to zero. All right. Yep. So first of all, I want to just show something that I just want to bring it up because today we got news. Todd, look at Todd. Wow. 2,300 gems. Todd's at 2,300 gems. Look at that dump. Why is this happening? I mean, we said it over and over again. We made a video on March 19th talking about the off-app gem market. We said it will go to zero. Then we made a video on April 11th saying that your Veve collectibles are still going to zero. And this one here, the point of it was more so that the market caps are just completely unsustainable. That if you were to look at the, I think it's, we pulled up the Gems in app, right? If you were to look at the Gems in app, they were steady at 127. And that if you just simply consider all the mints on the app and you consider the amount of gems in app, because the gems in app is like the free cash flow, that needs to go up for the floors to be bought. So essentially all the floors are fake because there's not enough gems in app to buy up the floors of some of these grails, right? You cannot buy up the partner statue. The money just doesn't exist in the app to buy all these things up. So we need new people. We need new gems. And we just don't think that Veve, actually, it's a fact. Veve will not market. They're not interested in bringing in new people.
Yep.
They have enough money now to focus on developing the app, and they're not interested in bringing in new people. Therefore, the point of this video was now another spin on this to say Veve actually wants your collectibles to go to zero because by definition, you can't have your collectibles not go to zero unless there's new money in the app. So
exactly.
I mean, right now there's 127 million gems in app. If that doesn't grow, there's burns, right? There's burns in the primary market. There's burns in the secondary market. So and let's see, it's still at 127. It's holding steady, right?
It's been moving up a little bit the last couple of days, but we still know that we're waiting on some big announcements for May. David, you confirmed that yesterday on Randy's AMA, or he pretty much said May's not over yet. So we do know that we're getting a couple big more drops. And if there's more big drops, you got to expect that there will be a gem squeeze event right before that, especially if it's like a Darth Vader or something like that. Because he was asking him about the skulls, and he was saying, I just use the skulls because the new people say that it means like you're dead crying or whatever. But then immediately talked about golden moments right after that. So it was like everyone's like, what is happening?
Right. And from a business perspective, it's actually a benefit for Veve right now to have these people are bringing in new money and they're buying collectibles. If the market caps across the board continue to drop, then it just makes the value of all these collectibles less and less and less, which makes it a little bit easier for them come and cash out time. And I think they'll be okay. I think they definitely are benefiting from a lower price. And also as OMI drops, you can burn more of it now.
So that's exactly it. So think about it. OMI is what everything is backed on for this project, right? And people who are researching OMI are going to look into, especially if they're serious investors, they're going to look into Veve and they're going to say, well, what's this Veve app about? How does it work? Is it performing well? And if they just go and pull up a Ecomi wiki and they look at this Todd, for example, and they see a straight down ramp in the price, it might kind of hinder them from buying OMI. And I think it's kind of been, even though Bitcoin's been getting hit, the markets have been getting hit, the economy's not doing the greatest. If someone's looking into this app and realizes that everything has just been going straight down in price, it might hinder their purchase of OMI, which lowers the price of OMI, which means that the burn rate increases as things are bought and sold on the app because takes more OMI, right?
Well, it's the perfect storm, right? Because if you look at the world conditions right now, I believe we're now entering a recession. Usually one of the first things to go is that part of the economy that's elite. For example, Rolexes, high-end materials that people don't really need are typically one of the first things to go. I would put NFTs in today's market, that category. We're in a crypto. If you look at Bitcoin finally dipping under 30,000, I heard some crazy stat that they think that like 48% of holders are actually they're actually losing money right now because it's been at like 60 grand at high for so long that many people now have dipped under. But who knows, some of them, how much they made from before. In a way, it's a good thing though. Like again, if you are pro Veve, if you're pro NFT, if you're bullish long-term, you actually can only benefit. You should be like Veve and want your collectibles to go to zero because you're not selling, because you're in it for the long run. Yeah. The lower these go, the more likely is that in the future, you can become that whale and you can actually benefit from being early. People who have joined in January, they're down right now. But if they have any aspirations to become a future whale, they can only benefit from going from the prices continuously trending down to zero. And Veve obviously helping that by doing nothing about it is actually a good thing for their early users. I'll be honest.
Exactly. And it's a good thing for their future users Because think about it. Is it easy or hard to sell? If someone's coming into the app and like, hey, I want a Superman. I want the first Spider-Man. I want the first Superman. Oh, wait, I got to pay $3,000 to get the first Superman, or $8,000, wherever it was a couple months ago. Kind of a tough sell. But once Superman gets down to reasonable values, and I'm sure as more people come in, it'll pump it back up. But once it gets to that point and advertising comes through and they have a plethora of different IP on the app and more grails, because right now we have grails, but there's going to be more grails introduced like we're expecting in May. Then the money gets spread around a little bit more, keeps the prices a little bit further down for new users to come in and actually have opportunity to maybe they can't buy a bunch of them, but maybe they can buy one or two and start off their collection that way. It just helps future people come in by having a little bit cheaper prices on some of these things.
And here's another thing. Just because prices are going down, that doesn't mean Veve, the company, isn't thriving. They sell out every single drop in seconds. They're thriving.
Yeah.
They set their price and they sell out, right? If they're selling out, I mean, if it was me and I was selling out every time I put out a product, would I really be that super duper motivated to then go and get all, like, they want them, don't get me wrong, but they have a chance to breathe now. They have the revenue, they have the income coming in, and they want to make it perfect. They have the time and money now to sit back and make it perfect. Because I'll be honest with you, people were talking about other NFT projects. I still don't think the other NFT projects have caught up to Veve just yet. I think Veve still is ahead of them, and they know that, and they have time to kind of sit back. Let's get these things right. Let's get them done. Let the collectibles go to zero, because they've already said before, David, you said it himself, he doesn't care what the price of your collectibles are. Yeah. He doesn't care if they go to zero. He cares about the success of the long-term success of Veve. The prices right now to him are completely irrelevant on whether or not Veve succeeds in the future. For Veve to succeed in the future, they need to sell out so they get money. They need to bring on IP so the IP likes them and keep going back to them. And they need to improve the technology and get rid of bots with MCP. That's their only focus. Veveverse, Metaverse, that's their focus. They don't care if Todd's 2,300. Let it go to zero.
They got to take care of their relationships. Exactly like you said, those IPs, they got to make sure that those IPs sell out. And he mentioned how he's very involved in the pricing and the size of the mints or whatever. He tries to play around with the numbers too to make them cool things, like George Lucas's birthday or whatever was one of the mint numbers for that Star Wars comic. But that type of thing is exactly like you're saying. They're trying to keep their IP happy. The happier their IP is, the more likely it is to get more IP on board. And I think they probably have most of the IP that they want already.
He said that in the interview.
Just not released, right? So
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, I just gonna say, I think that the going down is a good thing for us right now. I don't know. For me, every day I'm hoping that it goes down, because there's things I want to pick up that I never thought I could pick up before. And I'm sure there's a ton of you guys feeling that same way. And who would have thought that we'd be cheering for the market to go down?
I always cheer for the market to go down from the day I started here, because I know, same with Omi, I know that the future potential of this cannot be realized. Things take time. So that was exactly what I was going to say. I'm not upset that Veve wants my collectibles to go to zero. I actually encourage it. But I know from the comments, there's many superstars out there who got in really early and they want to cash out. Those guys are really upset because they want to cash out way back when Todd was 13,400. Yeah. So they definitely are not going to appreciate us letting Veve, like encouraging Veve to allow this trend to continue, because they haven't given people the cash out option. So those people are super sour.
The way I look at it, and I think a lot of you people have to look at it, is basically, we've mentioned it a couple times in this video, Veve is not ready yet. If Veve was fully ready, everything's unrolled, they say this is done, everything's done, we're ready to go, marketing's out there, everything's out there, and this was happening, that would be a problem. But the fact that that's not all in place yet, and this is happening, who cares? Who cares? Let them go down, scoop up everything. It proves how early you are. Then let them get their marketing plan. And when they finish everything and they say, look, we're rolling full steam ahead, who knows when it's going to be, hashtag soon, hashtag when, right? But once they're rolling full steam, if this thing is staying like this, okay, you got played, you got burned. But at the same time, I don't expect that to happen. I expect this to have a really bright future. I expect it to be one of the biggest projects around the metaverse, around the Veveverse, as they call it. And I think those things just take time. And right now we are super early. We made a video on that. We got to make another one, Rob, calling it how early, like we are super, super early to Veve, because honestly, this stuff here, this chart that you're showing right now means nothing until everything is going a mile a minute, then everything's in place.
These are the kind of charts a long-term Veve person and a long-term NFT believer in Veve, these are the kind of charts we want, because it will allow you access and it will allow you to get a better bang for your buck when you eventually choose to add more money to the app or recycle it. So I'm not complaining about this. Yeah. And I do believe that Veve actually wants this. I think they don't care, right? They want the prices to go down. It's better for them on the cash out. They got rid of the box. They don't care about transfers because MCT is not around. They're going to take their sweet time. They're in no rush. And that's not a criticism. Yeah. It's actually, in a way, a benefit for them, because if they take their time and do it right, it'll be better than rushing it and making a mistake. But the cash out's a super touchy subject. There's a ton of people who feel like their money has been locked up. They feel lied to by Veve because Veve said it was going to come out March 2021 and it never did. So they're super upset, and I feel for them for sure. But from our perspective specifically, we're okay with this happening. Yeah. And that was the point of this video, just to highlight that to the superstars in the world, that maybe this isn't the worst thing, because people are going crazy right now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, until it's full force and it's doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, you're buying a product before it's rolled out, basically. You know what I mean? That's what you're basically investing in something before it's out. Like they've mentioned 2022 as their launch year. Think about it. You're going to be able to say, if you're in right now, you're going to be able to say, I was in before MCP. I was in before MTL. I was in before the web app. Like, think about that. In the future, you're going to be able to say that. Like, that's how early you are. These things aren't even out yet. Yeah. So just take a breather. I know, even if you were in way before us, if you were in the beginning, like beginning of last year, whatever it was, you want to cash out, sure, but you're not even seeing the product to the finish. Like, you don't even know what the product is yet. You have, you have a couple little AR things that you can do nothing with right now. Look at them in your room.
And ultimately, the gamification, and there's ways the utility will generate value in NFTs. Yeah. There's not that many NFT products that give you actual utility. Like, the other projects don't even come close to this idea, I think, yet. The AR capabilities that they have right now, they can really, really do something special with it long term. We will see how that turns out and how long it takes.
Exactly. So I think that's it. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this whole thing. Are you upset that you can't cash out yet? Do you think that you should have some more patience to wait until everything is in place, because that's when you'll really see the fruits of your labor? Or do you think nothing's going to happen after everything's in place because there's going to be other competition that might take a little bit of the market share and make it a little bit more difficult to make some money here?
Yeah, and do you think that Veve's doing this on purpose? Do you think that this is the greatest rug pull in history? We had a comment that said that once. I thought it was funny. But anyways, let us know below. And don't forget, let us know what AMA questions you might want for tomorrow. We'll ask it.
Yeah.
Smash the subscribe button. Become a superstar. Join the superstar fam. Let us know what you think about this video below. And we will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.